Hey guys, it's Snatic17 here. Today I thought of doing kind of an update video, but at the same time kind of just a talking video for you guys to listen to. As you guys already read by the title, yes, I am coming back to iMovie. Now, there are a couple of reasons why, but let me just explain. Um, so for I think 3 years now, I was on Final Cut Pro. So basically, I was starting around 2017. And the reason why I got Final Cut Pro and I left iMovie, it was because I wanted to switch it up and I wanted to kind of evolve um, my editing program and software because of the fact that I was already an aspiring filmmaker, and I still am. And I wanted to try something new, something a little bit more professional than just iMovie, and that's what I did. So, one of my friends that worked at Apple, or and I think she is still working at Apple, she was nice enough to give me a code to get Final Cut Pro for free, and I I got the app. So for the next 3 years, I used it for numerous films and projects, and Final Cut Pro was awesome. It was a great platform, and I definitely recommend it to people who want to switch it off from iMovie or just any other like standard editing program into a completely new and more professional one. I highly recommend it. But over the past year or a couple years, I've had problems with it, and the reason being, it's because, well, some of it had to do with the fact that my computer couldn't take it, and it was just too, I don't know, there was too much, or it was also because of the fact that there was just a lot on it that just didn't really work for me, in my opinion. Including some of the one of my biggest peeves with Final Cut Pro was that there were many there's always like subtitles and stuff that you could add on to the videos, and some of the really fancy ones I thought were really cool were very laggy in the end product of whatever I was making, and it just didn't look good for the film. So I didn't really use any of those, and I was only able to really use just the regular subtitles and put fancy fonts on it. But that's about it. I couldn't do anything else really. So um, to put it short, I just had a lot of problems with Final Cut Pro, and I felt like I finally needed to switch off to a completely new one. Something a little bit more professional, especially now that I'm almost an adult and I need to start thinking about filmmaking for the future and getting a little bit more professional. So I looked around and I was recommended by my cousin a certain program called DaVinci Resolve, and I tried it out. I didn't like it. Now let me explain. Don't get me wrong, I can understand the pros and the cons of the whole thing. The reason why I was recommended to it was because it has a lot of After Effects and a lot of CGI stuff that I could use. But when I was using it to edit just like a regular video, it was very slow and not very active. And all the titles and the After Effects stuff that was included with it, it was very complicated. And it again, my computer couldn't take the fact that um, the editing program was so kind of uh, I don't what is the term, just complicated in general, and I didn't like it. It was I wanted to like it. I won't lie. I wanted to like it, and I wanted to see the good in it, and I'm sure there is good in it, but it doesn't work for me. Not for me. For someone who just wants to make regular films in, the most simple way possible, I thought DaVinci Resolve just wasn't the best. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going back to Final Cut Pro, um, but I didn't, I wanted to like DaVinci. I really did. Just didn't work out. So, in the end, as you can see, I have come back to my old roots and came back to iMovie. Now, this right now is only temporary, I would say. I'm not going to be staying on iMovie for very long. I'm not going to be using it for forever. It's just until I get a new editing program that I feel like will be best. So maybe in the future I could be using something like Sony Vegas or like Adobe After Effects or just Adobe Premiere Pro, because I've used those programs um, for certain programs and classes that I was in for filmmaking, and those were pretty good to use. Um, but yeah, so iMovie, welcome back to 1917. Feels kind of it's a nice refresher. It's a nice breather, and it makes me feel like a real kid again. Cause I used to use nothing but iMovie back then. So um, and the fact that I'm reusing it now, it makes me feel good. But it's only temporary, and it'll be good for now. Until then, I hope you guys can be okay with this, and I hope that this will be manageable until further notice. So yeah. Aside from that, that's all I got for you guys. 17 here, and bye.